If you're running your own Shopify store and you came from Amazon, there's a good chance Google cannot properly understand your products right now. And this is not your fault. If anything, the reason might be that Amazon is actually doing a little bit too much for us. So we have been running feed audits for Shopify stores for Amazon sellers, and the pattern is pretty clear. From what we see, fewer than 10 have everything set up correctly in their feed. So that means more than 90% are sending Google at least something broken in their feed, and they don't even know about it. So here's why this matters more than it used to, because your feed isn't just for Google shopping anymore, which is also very important. It's actually becoming the data that uses to decide what to recommend. So Gemini and Google AI mode pull straight from that. And what researchers found is that ChatGPT also recommends using these products and this data. So it's more than 80% of it is traced back to the same Google Shopping data feed. So OpenAI didn't confirm it, but the signal is pretty realistic. All in all, today I'll show you why this happens. I'll show you the 5 issues that are quietly hurting your visibility and how you can check your own store in pretty much a minute. So let's start with what Amazon did good for you. Think back to listing on Amazon. So you couldn't just throw a product up and hope for the best. Amazon wanted a barcode, it wanted a category, it wanted proper attributes, right? So a lot of sellers hated the process, but there was a hidden upside. So every time Amazon rejects a listing, it's cleaning the data up for you. It's making you build a good product habit. And, the platform is there to enforce the rules. But, with Shopify, suddenly everything is much easier. There are no approvals. You own the data. There are no category enforcement, no barcode, GTIN enforcement. You can literally just launch the product, and, that feed felt great. But, this is the part what nobody mentions is Shopify, using the Google app, which you normally should have installed, is generating the Google feed for you automatically based on the data you have there. If you're not in Shopify, you're probably using another feed generator, which has similar properties and not really checking the data. And whatever sits in your store, good or bad, half finished, this gets passed straight to Google. So a feed can be perfectly valid. It's not failing, but the data inside is very weak. So this is where the trouble starts. I'll give you the 5 silent killers of a feed. So Google cannot recommend a product if it doesn't understand it. And most Shopify owners have no idea they're making Google guess. So let's go through the 5 things that are quietly causing this and why Amazon sellers run into them more often than anyone. So killer number 1, missing GTINs. So on Amazon, no barcode usually means no listing. On Shopify, no barcode means no warning at all. Google still uses GTINs, and it's using it to verify what you're selling and matching it across the Google Shopping graph. So if you leave that out, your product is still out there, but Google has a much harder time to actually trust it because it doesn't understand what it is. Killer number 2 would be missing or categories too broad. So a lot of merchants have the category just left blank or pick something random or something being suggested by Shopify. So Google leans on this category to really understand what the product is. It's also being used on Shopify for taxation purpose. Let's just give an example of a kitchen knife, which is set under like home or gardening. You're technically labeled it, but you've given Google almost no real context about what the product is, so it cannot really be working with it properly. Killer number 3 is missing items group ID. This one catches Amazon sellers constantly. On Amazon, parent and child variants link up automatically, and on Shopify, Google needs this item group ID to tie all the variants together, or child license. So without it, like every size and color reads as a separate product, and that's not really good because one variant can spill over a whole group of products. Killer number 4, low resolution images. So Google's image requirements keep going up, and plenty of stores have this mistake of actually sending their thumbnails, very low resolution images to Google, but the ones on the site are actually really good. So Google sees a much worse version of the images that you actually have. Killer number 5, the feed and site mismatch. So Google constantly compares your feed against your live website. So if the price is different, that's a problem. If availability is different, that's a problem. The title doesn't match, it's a problem. So every mismatch chips away a little bit about how Google trusts your feed and trust in the whole game. But here's the reassuring part. So this usually isn't a rebuild that you need to do. It's an actual cleanup of the data. So GTINs can be added, categories can be corrected, and varying groups can be reconnected. So images can also be swiped out. You can put in better quality ones. Most of it is far less work than people expect. It's not a lot of fun, but it's actually easier to do than you might think. So fixing it is the easy part. The hard part is just knowing there is a problem in the first place, because nothing in Shopify tells you. So this is exactly why we built Google Merchant Feed, which I'm sharing right now. You'll have a free audit. What we do is the system looks at your Google Merchant Feed and shows you what Google systems are actually seeing. So here you can either paste the URL if you have it, or you can connect to Google Merchant Feed, because mostly on Shopify, you don't see the link. So this is why you build this fairly easily. You can just click on Connect to Google Merchant Feed Center. It will ask you for permissions. Once you give it permissions, you'll be able to submit it. We never do anything to the feed except read data to show the results. We never write or do anything to the account. So once you select the appropriate account that you want audited, a minute or so later, you'll be getting a report filling out all the feed issues, all the missing attributes, weak data, and where you're losing visibility. So if you built a real business on Amazon, you already have the products, you already have the customers. This is just about making sure Google understand what you're selling. So here you can see that this, let's say, random feed of a customer is having a bunch of issues. So we need to go ahead and fix this for him. The main issues are he has no GTIN and no brand NPM fallback. Titles are all caps. For some, which is not great. He's missing descriptions on a lot of products. The descriptions are very thin and missing product types. So we have like a detailed list. We won't go into that. So it'll be generated for you exactly. It'll literally tell you what to fix. So feel free to use the tool. We'll be posting a link below, and see you in the next video.